The UPSC CSE arena is an ever-evolving space where staying up to date becomes as crucial as maintaining a thorough preparation. With strategic planning and holistic coverage for exam syllabus, Vision IS Delhi presents GS Foundation course. Avail analysis and integration of current affairs with GS syllabus. All India test series with an innovative assessment system, inculcating post-test analysis, discussion, All India ranking, and more. Explore the holistic learning modules intrinsically designed for the ideal aspirant.
Right. You see, I am welcoming you for a discussion on Paper-1 History Optional 2024. That includes Section A, Ancient India, Section B, Medieval India. You know the first question compulsory, that is map pointing. Of the 20 places earmarked there, okay, you have to identify the place. You have to identify the place. Okay. This, I will be circulating a separate note for you, 20 places, okay, because it's of no use now, showing you that, and highlighting the importance of that. Okay, I'll circulate a note on that. Now see the questions given. Questions. Okay. Question number 2. Okay. Question number 2 is about what? Harappan art contributes to our understanding of their aesthetic sensibilities, in addition to spiritual and ritualistic life. Comment. Do you have these question papers with you? Question is about what? This question is for 20 marks. Okay. Question is about Harappan art forms. Okay. How these art forms not only reflect religious and spiritual life of Harappans, but also help us in understanding aesthetic sense of Harappans. Okay. What is aesthetic sense? Okay. Aesthetic sense is sense to appreciate beauty. Understand? For you to answer this question, first of all, what are the art forms here? Harappan art forms. Art forms of Harappan culture. Number 1, seals. SEALS. Number 1, seals. Number 2, terracotta figurines. Terracotta figures made of clay. Next, number 3, you have pottery. POTTERY. Next, number 4, you have their own script. Script called pictography. 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 Next, number 5, okay, you have Harappans going for, okay, highly decorated items. Items, made out of, okay, colorful stones. You call them agate. Okay, colorful blue color stones, lapis lazuli, not agate, I'm sorry, lapis lazuli, and carnelian, that is beads. Beads made of carnelian, you understand? These lapis lazuli and beads, they are highly decorative. This is where you see, Harappans going for aesthetic appreciation. Okay. In the seals, first to begin with, in the seals, okay, seals reflect more aesthetic, more than aesthetic, they reflect about Harappan belief system, Harappan religion, and Harappan trade contacts with the contemporary civilizations. Okay. There are as many as 2000 seals found. Seals also reflect technical perfection. Making a seal, it requires lot of technical perfection. You have to get a type of stone called steatite, soft rock, cut it into different sizes. They made seals of almost all the shapes. Okay. What are the shapes? Seals you find in circular shape, you find in rectangular shape, square shape, triangular shape, and cylindrical shape. Okay. That means there you see aesthetic appreciation again. I want to make a seal of 1 rupee coin size, 1 rupee coin size, in almost all the shapes. That means I am giving importance here for aesthetics and beauty. Right? In these seals, you see religious beliefs also and ritualistic practices also. Okay, I don't know whether you have heard of these in my classes or not. Okay, in the seal found in Mohenjo-daro, you have Pashupati Mahadev. Okay, Pashupati Mahadev, the only god they worship. You understand? A type of Shiva cult you see. Okay, and in the seal you also see horse, image of horse. Okay. Indus Valley seals found in Mesopotamia, giving us a evidence for the contact between Indus Valley people and the Mesopotamians. This is the importance of the seal. So seals are more for religion and cultural aspects of Indus Valley. Okay. Of course, you see aesthetic appreciation. Okay. Next to seals, you have terracotta figures. In terracotta figures again, we also find religion, their belief system, religion and ritualistic life. Where do you see in terracotta? What do you mean by terracotta figures? Terracotta figures means the figures made of clay dolls. In these clay dolls, you see religion and ritualistic practices. Okay. Where do you see religion? Okay. Religion is found in the clay dolls concept of mother goddess. Okay. There you are shown trees coming out of the womb of a woman. That is a symbolic expression that woman, the goddesses for progeny and prosperity. Okay. So terracotta figure, there you see the religious belief, religious idea. Then how terracotta figures also reflect aesthetic appreciation. Okay. Question is about not only religion, aesthetic appreciation. Okay. Where do you see aesthetic appreciation in terracotta figures? In the same terracotta figures, you also see women decked with different hairstyles. Indus Valley women are known for highly fashioned practices, decorative practices. There in terracotta figures we see women going for different hairstyles. Okay. Next, you also see, most of the terracotta figures meant for kids to play. Okay. That's why most of the terracotta figures are of monkeys. Okay. Monkeys means they are the dolls. Kids would get naturally attracted. Okay. There again you see aesthetic appreciation. Okay. They wanted to reveal their artistic skills. That's why in terracotta figures you also see cart. Cart meant for transportation and all that. Terracotta figure of cart. Okay. Next to terracotta figures, you have pottery. This is where you see definitely aesthetic appreciation. Pottery doesn't reflect religion. Pot making doesn't reflect ritualistic practices. Pottery reflects aesthetics, appreciation of beauty. Where do you see appreciation of beauty and aesthetics in Indus Valley pottery? Pottery is beautifully decorated with crisscross designs. You understand? Geometrical designs. Beautiful painting around the pot. When you are going for crisscross designs, geometrical designs, paintings around the pot, that means you are giving importance for aesthetics. Aesthetics means appreciation of beauty. Understand? So pottery, undoubtedly, the classic example for appreciation of beauty and aesthetics. A pottery of that type, we say, we come across in ancient India. If you remember, I gave a statement, if you people have attended the class, Indus Valley pottery, the most beautiful pottery ever manufactured. Okay, BPW, black polished ware. Okay, this polishing, okay, the finishing touch you have given in the pottery is again what? It is not religious, it is not ritualistic, it is again appreciation of beauty, aesthetic sense. Next to pottery, you have script. Other specimen where you have appreciation of beauty and aesthetics is a script. Okay. Indus Valley people had not written, they had drawn pictures, communicating the message. For communicating the message, you are going for drawing the picture, not writing in alphabetic form. That means again here you are giving importance for beauty and aesthetics. Hope you are understanding what I am telling. You could have written a message, but instead of writing the message, you are going for drawing the image, picture, okay, to communicate the message. For communicating the message, if you are going for a picture, it means appreciation of aesthetics. Okay, I can write you one essay and circulate. But instead of writing one answer and essay, circulating it to you people, I draw some pictures. Are you understanding? Thereby I will communicate the message to you. Means I am appreciating beauty here. Are you understanding? Beauty and aesthetics. That's why Indus Valley script is called pictography. What is pictography? The language of pictures. Pictography means the language of pictures. In between these pictures, we also see alphabets, but by and large, the striking aspect is pictures. Okay, they have drawn pictures. How they had drawn the pictures? Okay. Again, this is script itself is artistic in sense. Script is artistic in the sense you have to go for sandstone slabs, right? Sandstone slabs. Here you draw the pictures. Here you are drawing the pictures like this. In between the pictures, you have alphabets also. When you draw a script like this with the pictures, you are definitely giving importance for beauty and aesthetics. Understand? Then you have the other art forms, okay, the last art forms. You have, okay, beads, bead making industry, BEADS. Beads are meant for decking. Okay. To make the beads, okay, how do you make the bead? For making the bead, you have to use cornelian. Okay. It is a type of stone, cornelian stone. Then you have to go for lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli, I told you, okay, blue stone. You get this blue stone from the site of Afghanistan, okay, Shartugai. You have to get the, blue stone, lapis lazuli from Shartugai in Afghanistan. This stone is meant for using in the chains, okay, dollars they wear. That means it is meant for aesthetics and beauty. So you have to talk about all these things and highlight that these art forms not only meant for, okay, reflecting the society economy, but also meant for aesthetics, appreciation of beauty. That's how the concluding part shall be there. Next question is what? Different types of megalithic burial practices in India. Have you heard of megalithic burial practices? Okay. Megalithic burial practices. You see the question on this for 15 marks. Okay. Different types of megalithic burial practices. What are the different types of megalithic burial practices, my dear? Mega means big. Lith means stone. Very big stones arranged, okay, in different forms and shapes. Okay. Telling you that area a burial ground. Okay, that's why it is called megalithic. Okay, megalithic means big stone placed there, okay, to demarcate the area as a burial ground. In demarcating the area by placing a very big stone there or stones there, they followed different practices. What are the different types of burial practices? Different types of burial practices. Okay. You see, this is cyst. Cyst burial. Okay. If we have stones arranged in circular shape, stones arranged in circular shape, then it is called cyst. Right. You have stone cap placed on 3 vertical stones. This is called dolmen. Right. If you have one stone horizontal supported by another stone, one single stone, then it is called taulon. Okay. Stone shape looking like this, it's called menhir. Right. Then stone alignment. This is called stone alignment. Right. This is the way huge stones were arranged in different forms called megalithic burials. Mega means big, lith means stone. Okay. These megalithic burials we find particularly in the deep south. Okay. During 2nd century up to 2nd century BC, you see the megalithic burial practice. So first part of the question is what? Different types of megalithic burial practices in India. These are the different types of megalithic burials. How far does the archaeological evidence from it help us to know religious beliefs and cultural practices? Okay. When you are arranging the stones in these different shapes, what is the message you are going to tell? That's right. Okay. Particularly in the sister burial, you see the burial dead body is buried here in a casket. Understand? Megalithic burials, okay, in arranging the huge stones, okay, it shows first how much respect they had for the fellow dead, for the person dead. These burials are meant for, okay, offering rituals and ceremonies also. Okay. These burials indicate fear and respect for the people who are dead. That's the other reason why megalithic burials are called, other name I am telling you, Rakasi Gulu. Rakshasi Gudu. Okay. Rakshasi means what? Demon. Their other name given for megalithic burials, Rakshasi Gulu. G-U-L-L-E. Gulu. Gudi means, place. Okay. Demon, where the demons stay. Okay. We call, Pitru Devata, who the person's dead. Understand? For them, you bury them means that place is sacred. Okay. That too with huge stones you have arranged the structure. Okay. So this is the name given, Rakshasi Gulu. Okay. Structures meant for the people dead. That is a literal meaning. Okay. Belief in future birth of the soul. Okay. What do you see in these burials? We see in these burials grain, pottery, war weapons, okay, for the person dead. For the person dead, grain, pottery, war weapons. Grain for him to eat, pottery for storing the water, right? And weapons to protect himself. You mean in these burials you see pots? What type of pots? Black and red ware pots. Pots are meant for storing the water, right? Then iron tools and implements are also found. Okay. Weapons were found for the person to dead to protect himself. Weapons are there. Sorry? Huh? Burzum. In Burzum you have double burial. But that's true. I'm coming to that one. That's true. In Burzum that is there. Okay, Burzum, but Burzum is not a megalithic burial. Got the point? In Burzum, you have see a plain burial. Don't place Burzum under megalithic burial. Megalithic means it must go with a huge stone. Right? The megalithics you don't see in Jammu and Kashmir. Megalithics you see down south and Vindhya region, Nagpur region. Okay, you don't have megalithics in Jammu. Okay, so don't bring double burial under megalithic. Okay, in this megalithic burials, as you say, okay, animals were not buried. Okay, terracotta figures with animal images were buried. That shows animation, okay, respect for animal. Okay, terracotta figures with animal images, and in the image you see the animals are decorated highly. That means you have respect for the animals. Okay, in the megalithic burials, we also see the buried, dead bodies are buried with terracotta figures, that means clay dolls, terracotta figures with animal images. Animal images indicate what? Decorated animal images. This is called, animism. Animism means respect for animals. They respected animals. Okay. These sizes, these types of megalithic burials, okay, they are also meant for very important thing, astronomical observations. Astronomical observations. The movement of sun is important. At the movement of the sun, you see the seasons start. When to go for harvesting, when to sow the seed. They have a system of, astronomical calculations they follow that are also indicated by megalithic burials. So megalithic burials important for their religious and belief system. Question is about what? Religious beliefs and cultural practices. Okay? Cultural practices and religious beliefs. Okay? Cultural practices here means respect for the dead. Okay? That is one cultural practice. Cultural practice is animism, respecting the animals. Okay? Cultural practice is belief in the rebirth of the soul. Okay. Cultural practice is providing water, food and armaments for the person dead. Okay. Importance of these megalithic burials, they became the basis for architecture. Call it Buddhist architecture. Stupas. Most of these stupas, if you observe, they come very close to that of megalithic burials. Okay. They also became the basis in some regards for Hindu temple architecture also. Because Buddhist architecture became finally the basis for Hindu temple architecture. Right. This is how you have to build up the answer for that. Next question is, Western Kshatrapas are known for their socio-economic contribution. Okay. If you remember, when Mauryan Empire collapsed, okay, western part of India attacked by foreign dynasties. Okay. Indo-Greeks, Shakas, Parthians, Kushans. These Shakas are also called Kshatrapas, Western Kshatrapas, coming from Persia. Okay. Western Kshatrapas, Western because they settled in the present Gujarat region, western part of India. That's why they are called Kshatrapas. Okay. They are divided into 5 branches. Western Kshatrapas, divided into 5 branches. Most popular branch, Ujjain. Ujjain Western Kshatrapas. Okay. Ujjain in Madhya Pradesh. Okay. What is the contribution of these Western Kshatrapas to the society? First of all, they were all foreigners. Okay. Foreigners ruling the native, okay, it is not that easy to convince the people and win their cooperation. That's why Western Kshatrapas, foreign dynasty, decided to follow Buddhism, Jainism and Brahmanism. First contribution of Western Kshatrapas to the Indian society, they followed Indian religions. Okay. Buddhism, Jainism and Brahmanism. They developed Buddhist shrines, okay, Jain shrines, and they accepted Brahmanism and the language Sanskrit. Okay. The greatest of Western Kshatrapas, okay, Rudradaman. Rudradaman, following Brahmanical practices, he followed Brahmanical religion. He identified himself with the Kshatriya community. Okay. Shakas were called as fallen Kshatriyas by Brahmanical literature. Fallen Kshatriyas. Following Brahmanical rituals and ceremonies. Okay. Rudradaman, the first to give Sanskrit inscription. Understand? Sanskrit is the language of Brahmins. The first to give Sanskrit inscription, Rudradaman, Junagadh inscription, in a chaste Sanskrit language. So, Western Kshatrapas in society completely identified with Indian religions, Buddhism, Jainism and Brahmanism. Second part is what? Economic contribution. Okay. See the question, when you are seeing the question, what are the areas the question is focusing upon? Contribution of Kshatrapas to the society. Second thing is what? Contribution of Kshatrapas to the economy. When it comes to economy, what is the contribution? See that particularly in trade, agriculture and urbanization. Okay, question is about economic contribution of Western Kshatrabas in trade, agriculture and urbanization. Okay. When it comes to trade, their trade was maximum with Rome on the west coast. Okay. Rome was our major trade partner, okay, in ancient India. Okay. In the Konkan coast, there was a brisk trade with Rome. Okay. Rome. With the Roman trade, India was getting silver, gold and silver. Lot flow of gold and silver. Now, what is the contribution of Western Kshatrapas here? Okay. It is for the sake of facilitating better trade, Western Kshatrapas issued silver coins, gold coins. So, currency system is very important here for smooth transactions to take place. Western Kshatrapas issued gold coins and silver coins, facilitating the trade. Number one. There were wars between Western Kshatrapas and Shatavahanas. Okay. Shatavahanas ruling Deccan. Okay. You see Western Kshatrapas, okay, ruling the present Gujarat. Right. You have Shatavahanas ruling the, Andhra Pradesh, Deccan region and Maharashtra. There were very frequent clashes between Kshatrapas and the Shatavahanas for the sake of control over the Roman trade. Who should control the trade? Okay. That's the reason why king of the Shatavahanas, Gautami Putra Shatakarni, killed Nahapana of the Kshatrapas. And wars continued by Rudradaman against Kshatavahanas. Rudradaman defeated the two sons of Gautami Putra Shatakarni, Shivasri and Vasishta Putri Pulamavi. Okay. Shivasri was made to marry Rudradaman's daughter Rudradamanika. Okay. That means okay, Kshatrapas made an attempt to go for matrimonial alliances with the Indian dynasties. Rudradaman's daughter, Rudradamanika, she married Shivasri Shatakarni. Shivasri Shatakarni, son-in-law of Rudradaman. Okay. So matrimonial alliances were also established. Okay. Coming to trade and commerce, it's because of the trade and commerce under Kshatrapas, you have the port. Okay. This port called Soparaka, we call it Vaijayantipura. Vaijayantipura developed as a major center for trade and commerce. That Vaijayantipura you call it as Soparaka. Soparaka. Okay. Soparaka and Barukacha. Barukacha means brooch, Beriganja. These ports were developed, okay, mainly due to the contribution of Kshatrapas. Okay. That is about, trade. When it comes to agriculture, okay, they were responsible for small-scale dams. Small-scale dams built in Gujarat for water conservation. Okay. Classic example is Sudarshana Lake. Sudarshana Lake was not built by Western Kshatrapas. Sudarshana Lake was built by Pushyagupta. Okay. Rudradaman gave one inscription, the Junagadh inscription. There he talks about Sudarshana Lake being renovated. First time Sudarshana Lake was repaired by Rudradaman. Even today, we use Sudarshana Lake for irrigation purpose. Okay. That way, yes, Western Kshatrapas definitely contributed for agriculture. Then what was their contribution for urbanization? Towns. Okay. Important towns, I told you. Okay, Vaijayantipura port town. Okay, Soparaka, another port. Berigaja, another port town. Okay. This apart, you have Vallabhi. Okay. Vallabhi, the city, okay, it flourished as a major center for education. Understand? This way, yes, Western Kshatrapas definitely made good contribution for Indian society. Okay, identified with Indian religions, established matrimonial alliances with the Indian dynasties. Okay. Then they promoted Sanskrit language, followed Brahmanical practices. In trade and commerce, they were responsible for developing the ports Vaijayantipura and Broch, Barukacha. Agriculture, Sudarshana Lake. Right? This is the answer for the question. Now you see the question, symbiotic relationship between Buddhist establishments. Okay. What are the Buddhist establishments, my dear? Symbiotic relationship between Buddhist establishments. What are Buddhist establishments? Klein. What do you mean by that? Shrines. That's right. Buddhist establishments means sanghas. Buddhist shrines, stupa, chaitya, vihars, they are the Buddhist establishments. Sanghas and Buddhist places of worship, stupa, chaitya, vihars, where the monks stay and all that. Okay. Buddhist establishments, between Buddhist establishments, traders, artisan guilds and royal support, understand, who are all connected to Buddhism, who are all connected to Buddhist sanghas, stupas, chaityas, traders, okay, artisan guilds and kings, royal support, led to a close proximity of religion, economy and polity in Mauryan and post-Mauryan periods. Examine the statement. How the relationship between Buddhist establishments, kings, trade guilds responsible for the development of Buddhism, that is religion, economy and polity. During whose times? Mauryan and post-Mauryan. First of all, which literature talks about guilds, traders and artisans? Brahmanical literature never talks about traders, guilds, artisans. Okay. You know guilds? What were guilds called in ancient times? Sreni, Shrenis. Okay. These words Shreni not mentioned in Brahmanical literature, more mentioned in Buddhist literature. Okay. Where do you see references to the traders, the guilds? Diganikaya, Mahavastu, Milindapana. In the text Mahavastu, it talks about 36 types of craftsmen. Milindapana talks about 60 types of guilds, craftsmen. So Buddhist literature is very clearly, talks about, referring to the relationship between Buddhism and traders and the guilds. Because most of the merchants were from the community Buddhists. Buddha encouraged trade, commerce and profit motive. They were supporting the sanghas. Large donations coming from these guilds. The maintenance of sangha, it was mainly due to the donations from the guilds. Right. Artisan guilds. And royal support. The popular dynasties of ancient India all supported Buddhism. It all started from Haryanka dynasty, Ajatashatru, Bimbisara. Then you have Shishanaga dynasty, Kalashok, and then in Mauryan dynasty, Samrat Ashok. It was Samrat Ashok who made Buddhism international. How he made Buddhism international? He sent his son Mahendra, daughter Sangamitra to Ceylon. A Buddhist monk Maharakshit was sent to Yavanadesha, that is Greece. Ashok also sent Tara to Suvarnabhumi, that means Burma or Myanmar. After Mauryan times, question is about Mauryan and post-Mauryan. After the Mauryan times, you have Indo-Greeks, foreign dynasty. The greatest of the Indo-Greeks, Menander, he was converted into Buddhism by Nagasena. I mentioned Buddhist text Milindapana. Understand, dialogue between Nagasena and Menander. Then you have Kushans. Kanishk made Buddhism popular in Central Asia. Buddhist Sangha and the Buddhist king, they were very closely connected. The great Buddhist bhikshu, you have Ashwaghosh going up to Khotan in Central Asia. Got the point? So, proximity, question is about what? Proximity of religion. That's how religion got expanded. Economy and polity. Buddhism established trade contacts with Central Asia, trade contacts with Southeast Asia. When I am telling you that Kushans patronized Buddhism, Kushans the only dynasty which controlled Silk Trade route. You remember that Silk Trade route? Between China to Alexandria. Buddhist monks going quite far away places. That's why, trade contacts were established between India and Central Asia very well. Then Buddhists also went into Southeast Asia. Mahayana Buddhism popular in Ceylon, Myanmar, and Thailand. Mahayana Buddhism, Hinayana. Mahayana Buddhism popular in China, Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, and Japan. Means Buddhist monks going these faraway places. So trade and commercial contacts between Central Asia and India and Southeast Asia. This is mainly the work of Buddhists. And polity. In what way Buddhism, influenced the political system? Buddhism's influence on polity, it was responsible for Samrat Ashok to introduce a system called Dharma, a philosophy called Dharma. Dhamma, D-A-M-M-A, Dhamma. Dhamma of Ashok was definitely influenced by Buddhism, though it is not completely Buddhism. Okay. Ashoka himself had a social philosophy. This social philosophy was to a greater extent influenced by Buddhism. Okay. What are the principles of the Dhamma? Principles of the Dharma, Satya, stand by truth, Ahimsa, okay, non-violence, Samyama, tolerance, Sankshema, welfare. Okay. These are the cardinal principles of Buddhism. So political philosophy, okay, and let me tell you, Shreyo Rajya, concept welfare state, the greatest Buddhist philosopher, Nagarjuna. Undoubtedly Nagarjuna, the greatest Buddhist philosopher. Nagarjuna writing a letter to Yagnasri Shatakarni, that is called Sruhullekha. Lekha means letter. There the concept welfare state is clearly defined. What is welfare state? So Buddhism's contribution to polity, number one concept welfare state. Next, number two, a concept called Dhamma, guiding principles of the governance. How to govern the state, Dhamma. Equally, Buddhism responsible for a concept called secularism. Okay. You may be a Buddhist. It does not mean that you have to persecute the other religions. Got the point? Ashok very much influenced by these Buddhist concepts. Okay. So how Buddhism got spread? How Buddhism, developed trade? How Buddhism influenced political system? That is the answer for the question. Right. Then discuss the role of Buddhism in shaping socio-religious landscape of the Mauryan Empire. Closely connected these two questions. Okay. How Buddhism shaped the socio-religious landscape of the Mauryan Empire. Okay. How Buddhism shaped the socio-religious landscape of the Mauryan Empire. Okay. Samrat Ashoka, the only Buddhist in the Mauryan dynasty, converted into Buddhism, okay, by Upagupta, otherwise called, okay, Mughaliputra Tissa, Prince of Ceylon. He converted Ashoka. Why Ashoka was attracted to Buddhism? Okay, because Ashoka had his own social philosophy, Dhamma. This Dhamma, someone he required to preach and promote. You cannot expect Brahmanism to preach and promote Dharma. Got the point? Because Brahmanism is highly conservative. What they say is Dharma. They will not accept your ideology. So there is no point in going to Brahmanism. Jainism had no Sangha. That means popular, very well established Sangha. Only Buddhism. Buddhism's Sangha had a network, very well expanded network. So Ashoka's concept is follow Buddhism, okay, promote Buddhism, and Buddhism in turn would promote his Dharma. Okay. This is symbiotic relationship between Ashoka and the Buddhism. Why Ashoka had not gone to any other religion, only to Buddhism, is because Buddhism had a very well expanded network. He wanted to use that network for preaching and promoting his social philosophy called Dharma. Just now I told you, principles of Dharma are very much governed by Buddhist philosophy. In Buddhism, I told you, Satya, very important, Ahimsa, Samyama, Samyama means tolerance, okay, and Sankshema. Ashoka's Sankshema schemes, welfare measures were all influenced by this concept. What are the welfare measures? Okay, Samrat Ashoka going for free of cost medication. Okay, he dharmashalas, you understand? Okay, going for irrigation systems, digging up wells, ensuring agriculture prosperity. All this is part of Sankshema. Samyama, where do you see Samyama? Samyama means tolerance. Okay, tolerance, in his inscriptions he pleaded for Samyama. Son must take care of parents. Society, individual must tolerate society, society must tolerate individual. No clash between religions, different sects and communities. Just as that, no clash between different countries. A society without clash, you understand? That is samyama, tolerance. Under that concept only samyamas, tolerance, he pleaded for tolerance towards wild animals. Ashok banned samayas, entertainment shows. Every entertainment show would end with violence, animal fighting and all that. People wasting their money and all that. Samrat banned all these things. So Ashok's policies were very much influenced by the concept dharma. Okay. This dharma comes very close to that of Buddhism. We cannot say Ashokan dharma is entirely that of Buddhism. How you say that Ashokan dharma is not entirely Buddhism? Because in Ashokan dharma, he talks about heavens. Okay. In Buddhism, there is nothing called heaven. Okay. At that time, in Buddhism, it's a conservative Buddhism, not Mahayanism. Mahayanism much later. In Buddhism, there is no place for heaven. There is no place for God. Buddha never believed in the existence of God. Whereas Ashok says, if you follow this dharma, God would be very happy. You will be taken to heaven. In Buddhism, there is no heaven and there is no God. That way, Ashokan dharma and Buddhism are not just the same. Second important thing, Ashok promoted Dharma Mahamatras, appointed Dharma Mahamatras to preach his dharma. These Dharma Mahamatras were not Buddhists. They were selected, they were drawn from different castes and different religions. Okay. That way, Ashokan dharma is a secular philosophy. It has nothing to do with Buddhism. Okay. But definitely Buddhism influenced his policy. Got the point? This is shaping religious landscape. Social, how Buddhism influenced social philosophy of Ashoka. I already told you, okay, in Mauryan society there was violence, intolerance. Each sect trying to kill the other. There were clashes between Buddhists, Jains, Buddhists and the, Ajvikas. Okay. Ashoka preaching tolerance. Violence among the people in society. He himself killed all his brothers. Okay. You remember that. Okay. So against this increasing violent tendencies, Ashoka wanted to seek a solution to the problem. That's why dharma is what? A humane solution to human problem of society. Humane solution to the human problem of society. In Buddhism, Buddha says, take care of animals. There is a text called Suttani Pada. In Suttani Pada, Buddha tells you, cattle gives you, cattle is the source of, sampada, annada, vastrada, sukhada. Okay. That's why Ashoka took care of animal welfare. Okay. This is how Buddhism shaped the landscape, religious, social and religious landscape of the Mauryan Empire. Right. These questions are too connected to each other. Third A and B. Next C. Third question C. Discuss the evolution of state, institution and taxation system from Rigvedic period to later Vedic period. Okay. Discuss the evolution of state system. Do you have state in Rigvedic and later Vedic periods, first of all? Okay. In Indian history, there was no state before 6th century BC. There was only evolution of state, not an evolved state. First state in Indian history, it was Magadha. Magadha, the first state after 6th century BC. That is after later Vedic age. Okay. There was no state before 6th century BC. You have only evolution of a state. Right. That's why I tell you people, don't go by question set by UPSC. Okay, UPSC gives you question. You shall be in a position to judge it also. Right. What is the wording given here? Wording given, evolution of state institution. He had given the right wording. How the state evolved. Just as I told you, state evolved. Okay, there's no state. Evolution of state. How discuss the evolution of state institution and taxation system from Rigvedic period to later Vedic period. In the Rigvedic times, you had monarchy, hereditary monarchy. In Rigvedic times, you also had elected kings. That means republican states, hereditary monarchy and republican states. Next, number 2, in the Rigvedic times, it's a small tribal polity called Janas. Next, number 3, in the Rigvedic times, king was not powerful. Executive, king means executive. He was called Rajan, Gopa and Ganapati. This Rajan, the best amongst the equals. Gopa, protector. Ganapati, head of the tribe. Okay. He was not powerful in the Rigvedic times. He was controlled by very powerful legislative assemblies. There were legislative assemblies called Sabha and Samiti. Samiti's decisions final and binding on the part of the king. King cannot go against Samiti. Next, number 3, in the Rigvedic times, there was no bureaucracy. No bureaucracy. King was assisted only by Purohit, as and when he required advice. No permanent standing army. Okay, when a war comes, all would go for war, entire tribe. There's nothing called permanent standing army in the Rigvedic times. Understand? Next, come to the point. Tax system. In the Rigvedic times, taxes were there, but no tax system. Okay. What were the taxes? Bhaga, compulsory tax. Bali, voluntary offering. Rigveda doesn't tell us what is Bhaga, how much is Bhaga. Rigveda doesn't tell us who would collect Bhaga. That's why taxes were there, compulsory tax, but how much? Who would collect it? There were no tax collectors in the Rigvedic times. And Rigveda doesn't tell you how much is Bhaga. That's why taxes were there, but not tax system. This is Rigvedic time. Polity and tax system. Now, how this was entirely different in later Vedic age? How the evolution had taken place? In the later Vedic age, first major development was small tribal state called Jana became Janapada, very big territorial state. This is one of the characteristic features of a state. Kautilya first time describes a state in his Arthashastra. While describing the state, Kautilya says, state must have 7 characteristic features, Sapta Angas. Okay. First important aspect is what? Very big territory it must have. Okay. That's why in the later Vedic age, you see small state, tribal state called Jana became Janapada, big territorial state. Next, number 2, in the Rigvedic time, in the later Vedic times, king had become very powerful. In the Rigvedic times, king was not powerful, controlled by Sabha and Samiti. Executive became powerful. How the executive becomes powerful? When legislature is weak. There was no Samiti in the later Vedic times. Samiti disappeared. When Samiti disappeared, it became very easy for king to control Sabha. How king became powerful? Again, second reason, kings performed Ashwamedh, Rajasuya, Vajapeya, complicated ceremonies, claiming divine status. That's how office of king became very powerful. Next, in the later Vedic age, you had bureaucracy. In the Rigvedic times, you had no bureaucracy. Who were the bureaucrats in the later Vedic age? In the later Vedic age, you had bureaucrats. Akshavepa, superintendent on gambling houses. AKSHAVEPA. Superintendent on gambling houses. King had his own bodyguard, Govikartan. Understand? These were not there in the Rigvedic times. Then you had an officer called Shuta, Suta. Shutas, chariot drivers, and bard, BARD, bards. Okay. What do you mean by bard? Poet come singer. I told you in my classes that Shutas gave us Mahabharata. Okay. They used to recite Mahabharata composed by Vedavyas. Right? Shutas used to recite Mahabharata. So you have bureaucracy. Okay. Officers were there. Palgala, Shattari, all these names you may not remember. Shattari means the chamberlain who holds umbrella for the king. Understand? A bureaucracy. Tax system. Come to the point, tax system. I told you in the Rigvedic times there were only taxes. No, tax system. Now in the later Vedic age, you had a tax system. Bhaga is clearly defined. Bhaga meant 1/6 in the later Vedic age. 1/6 of the produce. In your produce, what you get in the production, 1/6 should go to the state, compulsory tax. Bali is always voluntary. I said in the Rigvedic times, taxes were there, but not tax collectors. Now in the later Vedic age, you had tax collectors. Who are the tax collectors? Bhagaduga, Dugga. Bhagaduga collecting the compulsory tax, Bhaga. Bali Sadaka, collecting Bali, voluntary offering. Okay. So tax system there. Got the point? Even then, we cannot call later Vedic age state as a state. Why? Because no permanent standing army. Even in the later Vedic age, there was no permanent standing army. Okay. There was no Dauchya, separate branch called diplomacy. There is no separate branch called Vitta, finance. Okay. There is no separate branch called Danda, law. Okay. These are all compulsory for you to call a state as a state. In the absence of Danda, law, in the absence of Vitta, finance, in the absence of permanent standing army, okay, we cannot call it a state. So, Rigvedic to later Vedic, state evolved, but not a full-fledged state. Clear? Fine. Next, discuss the contribution of Aryabhatta, Varahamihira, and Brahmagupta in the fields of astronomy and mathematics. You can answer it very clearly. Did you people attend my classes? Any one of you? I have given a graphic account on this. Straight question. Okay. Discuss the contribution, highlight the contribution of Aryabhatta, Varahamihira, and Brahmagupta, okay, in the fields of astronomy and mathematics. Okay. It all comes under the Gupta Golden Age. During the age of the Guptas, you understand, Aryabhatta, the greatest astronomer and mathematician. Okay. What's so great about Aryabhatta? Okay. Use of zero not connected with Aryabhatta. Use of zero in calculations was there even before Aryabhat. Most of the textbooks are writing that the zero started with Aryabhat. That is not a correct explanation. Use of zero in calculations was there even before Aryabhat. Aryabhat's great contribution, he perfected that astronomy and mathematics, subjects astronomy and mathematics. What is his contribution? He was the first to explain you the shape of the earth. Earth is elliptical, understand? Earth is not flat. Aryabhat first to measure the radius of the earth. Here he is a great mathematician. Okay. First to measure the radius of the earth. How he measured the radius of the earth, okay, it's mind-blowing. Okay. Without calculator and without a globe, you see Aryabhat measuring the radius of the earth. First to measure the radius. Today we are accepting the figure given by Aryabhat as a scientific. Thirdly, Aryabhat first to tell you, sun the center of solar system. Sun is the center of solar system. European astronomy used to tell us that earth is the center of solar system. Ridiculous, you understand? Europeans continued to believe sun and moon are rotating around earth. What is the reality? Earth is rotating around the sun. European astronomy continued to tell us that earth is flat. You understand? Okay. Grossly misleading. Aryabhat first to tell you that the sun is the center of solar system. First to explain formation of solar and lunar eclipses. Okay. Look at these credits to Aryabhat. Okay. Aryabhat wrote the most standard text on astronomy, Aryabhatiyam and Surya Siddhanta. Okay. Aryabhatiyam and Surya Siddhanta. Right. Next to Aryabhat, you have Varahamihira. Another great astronomer, Varahamihira. Okay. What is the contribution of Varahamihira? Varahamihira perfected the other branches of mathematics. What are the other branches of mathematics? Okay. Trigonometry, geometry, okay. Rekha Ganita. Okay. Rekha Ganita means geometry. Okay. Trigonometry, geometry, these branches were perfected by Varahamihira. Okay. Varahamihira developed lunar calendar system. What you and I follow today. This is called Chandramana calendar, lunar calendar system. We follow in India lunar calendar. Okay. Lunar calendar system on the basis of Romasya Siddhanta, R-O-M-A-S-A, Romasya Siddhant, on the basis of Romasya Siddhant. Okay, what you and I follow today, Panchanga otherwise. Varahamihira, the celebrated author of, he was the author of Brihat Jataka, Brihat Samhita, understand, and Pancha Siddhanta. 5 doctrines, Pancha Siddhanta, Brihat Samhita, Brihat Jataka. Classics in astronomy. Okay. Next to Varahamihira, you have Brahmagupta. Okay. What's the great contribution of Brahmagupta? Brahmagupta was the first to tell you that earth has gravitational pull even before Newton. Okay. According to us, today we accept Newton the first to tell about the gravitational theory. Understand? But unfortunately, even before Newton, it was Brahmagupta who told us first that the earth has gravitational pull. He preceded Newton. Okay. What are the classics of Brahmagupta? Where do you see Brahmagupta talking about the theory of gravitational pull? He wrote Brahmasputa Siddhant. Brahmagupta wrote Brahmasputa Siddhant. Okay. Brahmasputa Siddhanta. And Kanda Kajaka. Other text, Kanda, K-A-N-D-A. Kajaka, K-A-D-H. K-A-D-H-Y-A-K-A. Kanda Kajaka. In this text, he talks about the theory of gravitational pull. Right. This is the contribution for astronomy and mathematics. Then next question is what? Examine the course of Pallava Chalukya conflicts between 6th and 8th century. Pallavas ruling present Tamil Nadu. Chalukyas ruling Karnataka. Clash between the Karnataka and Tamil Nadu is not something new. Understand? Even today they clash with each other regarding Kaveri water distribution. Okay. This problem historical. Okay. First of all, why there were clashes between Western Chalukyas and Pallavas? Clashes between Western Chalukyas and Pallavas. Western Chalukyas ruling Karnataka with Badami as their capital city. Pallavas ruling Tamil Nadu with Kanchipuram as their capital city. Western Chalukyas ruling northern part of Karnataka. This northern part, red soil, land is not fertile. Whereas Pallavas controlled the lands between Krishna, Godavari, understand? Krishna, Godavari and Kaveri. Pallavas controlled the most fertile lands. Understand? That's why Pallavan, actually the word Pallavan also means an expert in agriculture. That is the meaning. Pallavan kingdom, very rich and prosperous agriculturally. Whereas Western Chalukyas, lands infertile. They are not fertile. Lands, their main problem was lack of arable land. This is the main reason for clashes between the two. This is number one. Second important reason why the clashes were very severe, it's because the greatest of the Western Chalukyas, Pulakesin. Western Chalukyan king Pulakesin. Pulakesin, highly imperialistic Pulakesin. Very ambitious Pulakesin. Imperialism of Pulakesin, the immediate cause for the clashes between Pallavas and Western Chalukyas. Pulakesin defeated Harshavardhan. Look at this. Pulakesin so powerful, he defeated Harshavardhan in the Battle of Narmada. Now Pulakesin defeated all the contemporary kings here. Kadambas. He defeated Kadambas, Anupas, Latas, Banas, and even Vishnukundins. He defeated Vishnukundins. That means almost all the South Indian dynasties were defeated by Pulakesin. You understand? This naturally had made Pulakesin to think about attacking Pallavan kingdom also. Highly imperialistic Pulakesin targeted Pallavas, having conquered almost all the South Indian dynasties. Then where exactly the clash had taken place? Pulakesin too defeated King Mahendravarman. King Mahendravarman I of Pallavas defeated by Pulakesin II. This is the first instance of Chalukya Pallava conflict. But this is not the end of the story. Son of Mahendravarman I, Narasimhavarman. Narasimhavarman I killed Pulakesin, challenged Pulakesin. Understand? Challenged Pulakesin and killed him in the battle of Badami. Understand? Otherwise called Manimangalam. Right. The first stage of conflict. Son of Mahendravarman, Narasimhavarman, killing Pulakesin. A rude shock for the Western Chalukyas. They never expected that their powerful king would be killed by Narasimhavarman. This is the first stage. Narasimhavarman, the greatest of the Pallavas. So long as Narasimhavarman remained alive, Western Chalukyas never dare look at Pallavan kingdom. That's why Narasimhavarman took the title Mahamalla, the great wrestler. Understand? Killing Pulakesin. Second stage of the conflict started. When Narasimhavarman died, Pulakesin II's son Vikramaditya, understand, he attacked Pallavan kingdom and killed Narasimhavarman I's son Mahendravarman II. What is the second stage of the conflict? Second stage of Chalukya Pallava conflict was son of Pulakesin, Vikramaditya, killing Narasimhavarman I's son Mahendravarman II. In Pallavan dynasty, you have two names quite popular: Mahendravarman I, Narasimhavarman I. After that, Mahendravarman II. Mahendravarman II's son, Narasimhavarman II. As if they don't know the other names, these names only circulate. What are the two names circulate? Mahendravarman, Narasimhavarman. So, Vikramaditya I, son of Pulakesin II, killed son of Narasimhavarman. Your father killed my father, so I will kill you. You understand? This is conflict. This is the conflict called Chalukya Pallava conflict. Now the question is what? Between the 6th and 8th century, we examine the course of Pallava Chalukya conflict. This is the course of the Pallava Chalukya conflict. Conflict continued, finally weakening both the dynasties. Both the dynasties were weakened. Constantly you are at wars means no stability in the kingdom. Western Chalukyas were defeated by their subordinate ruler, Dantidurga. Dantidurga founded Rashtrakuta dynasty. Pallavas were defeated by their subordinate rulers, Cholas. The last of the Pallavas, Aparajita Varma, defeated by Aditya Chola. So feudatories, that means subordinate rulers, took advantage of the situation. They became independent. That is the outcome. Right. Next question is, examine the role played by the Agraharas in promotion of education in early medieval India. Agrahara system. What do you mean by Agrahara? Agraharas are the lands granted to Brahmins for their settlement. Understand? This system of granting the land for the settlement of a Brahmin in a village, that village is called Agrahara. This started with the Guptas. Gupta land grant system, the basis for Agraharas. In the land grant system in ancient India, Actually, the land grant system started with the Mauryas. Samrat Ashok, wherever he went, he granted land, tax concessions for the Buddhist monks. That is the beginning. In the land grant system of the Mauryas, they simply granted the right to enjoy the resources, but no right to rule the area. This is Mauryan land grant. Got the point? Shatavahanas were the first to give lands in the south. In Shatavahana land grants, you have the right to enjoy the resources and at the same time the right also to rule. Not only to enjoy the resources, but also the right to rule the area. Nowhere you have military commanders given the lands. Guptas were the first to make land grants to the military commanders and land grants to the Brahmins, Agraharas. This Agrahara system, giving land grants to the Brahmins, it became widely prevalent under the Guptas. Why it prevailed under the Guptas? Because Guptas promoted Brahmanism, not Buddhism. Their main policy was to preach and promote Brahmanism, particularly Vaishnavism. That's why they gave large number of land grants to the Brahmins. In Indian history, who gave maximum land grants to the Brahmins means not Guptas, Vakatakas. Vakatakas, the neighboring dynasty of the Guptas, because they themselves were Brahmins. Vakataka dynasty, Brahmin dynasty. So, Agrahara means the land granted for the Brahmins to settle in a village. That village is called Agrahara. How is Agrahara, planned? Agrahara is planned with the center either of Shiva temple or Vishnu temple. On the right side and left side of this temple, you will have the street. Generally, only one street where the Brahmins will stay there. This is Agrahara. What is the purpose of granting Agrahara? Purpose of granting Agrahara is to, number one, promote education. Number two, to promote Brahmanical rituals, ceremonies, and Brahmanical festivals, all that. Connected with Brahmanism. Hope you are understanding. You Brahmin, it is part of your duty to promote education. Shat karma. What are the Shat karmas? One of the Shat karmas, 6 karmas, meant for Brahmin is to learn, preach, and promote education. Brahmin should learn, preach, and promote education. For that, Agrahara is granted. Go and settle there. Preach and promote. That's why Agraharas became the centers of education. Fundamentally, centers of education. Where do you see maximum Agraharas? You see Agraharas spread first in South India in large number. In Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, you come across maximum concentration of Agraharas. Where actually in Tamil Nadu? Tribhuvanam, Tiruchejiyur, Tribhuvanam, Tiruvallur, Tiruchejiyur. These are the places where you have concentration of Agraharas. You remember Uttaramerur inscription under the Cholas. Uttaramerur is a very powerful Agrahara. Very powerful Agrahara. Each Agrahara has its own administrative unit. Agraharas centers for, now come to education. Agraharas centers for, number one, language, Sanskrit. Vedic learning, Sanskrit. Grammar, what do they teach? Agraharas curriculum included grammar, Vedic literature, medicine. Understand? These are, and astronomy. These are the subjects in general Agraharas imparted. Okay. Right. Then what are the important Agraharas? Where do you see Agraharas? In North India, we have Agraharas in Gangetic Basin. Okay. Particularly nearby Varanasi. Okay. Varanasi, Gaya and Prayag, okay, are the places where, okay, you have Agraharas concentrated, okay, for promoting education. Okay. In course of time, Agraharas also became centers not only for Vedic learning but also crafts, okay, technical education, crafts. Not only Vedic learning but also technical education, crafts. Okay. Agraharas are also centers for, okay, management of trade, commerce and agriculture, because Agraharas have lands. Okay. Management of lands, agriculture, okay, and trade. Okay. For that also, Agrahara became the center, management of the lands. Okay. These are the subjects they taught, and these are the institutions Agraharas had taken care of. Okay. Barring that, there is nothing to talk about. Okay. Now go to section B. Answer the following questions in about 150 words each. There are 5 questions. Okay. Illustrate the main features of Vesara style of temple architecture. Okay. We have given a separate note on this. Okay. If you don't have, kindly get it from your students, your friends. Dravida, Vesara and Nagara styles of temple architecture. What are the essential aspects of the Vesara style? Vesara style of temple architecture, you see the architecture developing in between the north and the south in Karnataka region or Deccan otherwise. That's why Vesara style of temple architecture is called Deccan style. That is transitory point, okay, in between the north and the south. Okay. Deccan style or Vesara style. This style of architecture developed by Western Chalukyas. I told you they ruled Karnataka, Western Chalukyas. What are the main centers for Western architecture, Western style of architecture, or Vesara style of architecture, or Deccan style? Okay. It's a mixed style of North Indian Nagara, South Indian Dravida. Okay. Right. What are the essential characteristic features? Vesara style is a mixed style of North Indian Nagara and South Indian Dravida. Where do you see this mixed style? Okay. Main centers of the Vesara style of architecture, Pattadakal, Aihole and Badami. Okay. The main centers of Vesara style, okay, Pattadakal, Aihole and Badami. These are the main centers of the Vesara style. I said Vesara style, a mixed style. Where do you see this as a mixed style? Pattadakal. In Pattadakal, we see the temples built. We see the temples built in both the Nagara and Dravidian styles. Okay. You have 10 temples. Of the 10 temples, 4 in Nagara style, the remaining in Dravida style. That way it is a mixed style. Okay. It's also a mixed style for the other reason. In the Nagara style, you had, okay, in the Nagara style, you had, okay, this is called Shikhara. Okay. In the Dravida style, we had Gopura. This is Gopura. Okay. Gopura of Dravida style is found at the entrance. At the entrance of the temple, we see Gopura. Right? At the sanctum sanctorum, that means Garbhagriha. Garbhagriha, you see Shikhara. This is called Shikhara. Shikhara is the essential characteristic feature of Shikhara of Nagara style. Okay. Gopura of Dravida style. Gopura. Where do you see Gopura? At the entrance. Generally, in circular shape, these temples are built. Okay. At the entrance you see Gopura. Okay. When you cross this entrance, go to the main complex. In the main complex, you will have the temple built. Right. This is Antarala. Right. Then you have Garbhagriha. On Garbhagriha, you see, this is Shikhara. Okay. Shikhara on Garbhagriha, Gopura at the entrance. So both are found. Gopura of Dravida style, Shikhara of Nagara style. That's the other reason why you call it as mixed style. What are the other aspects of this style? Okay. In the Vesara style, temples are built in circular shape, looking like parliament, our parliament building. Okay. Next, other important aspect, you will have two entrances. Okay. One at the main entrance east, the other one in the south. Okay. This is the other important aspect of the Vesara style of architecture. Okay. Essential aspects. Then what are the classic examples for the Vesara style? Okay. Classic examples for Vesara style, I told you. In Pattadakal, you have the temples. Pattada means Pattabhishek. When king comes to power, king is, it is called coronation festival. Pattabhishek. For the Pattabhisheka, king is made to sit on a stone. Kal means stone. That's why that place is called Pattadakal. In Pattadakal, you have classic example Virupaksha temple. Lokamahadevi, queen of Vikramaditya. Virupaksha temple she built. She has thoroughly been impressed by Dravida style. Virupaksha temple built in the Dravidian style. This is a classic example. Then you have Papanath temple, another temple. Satyashraya built it. These are classic examples for Vesara style. Papanath temple. Aihole. In Aihole, you have Durga temple, Ladkan temple. Aihole is called city of temples under Western Chalukyas. So Vesara style of temple architecture we see in these places. Fine. Next question, this is only for 150 words, short note questions. Evaluate Firoz Shah Tughlaq's economic policies. In Delhi Sultanate, you have Firoz Shah Tughlaq after Muhammad bin Tughlaq. What are the policies, economic policies of Firoz Shah Tughlaq? Muhammad bin Tughlaq founded a department for agriculture. Firoz Shah Tughlaq developed irrigation systems. Firoz Shah Tughlaq built 4 major canals 4 major canals between river Yamuna and Sutlej. Okay. Ambitious projects of Firoz for the development of agriculture. 4 major canals, Hansi to Meerut, Meerut to Koil, Koil to Hiranikera, Hiranikera to Gagal. Okay, you don't have to mention all this. Just to say that there were 4 irrigation projects taken up by Firoz Shah Tughlaq. He incurred a heavy expenditure for the construction of these 4 irrigation systems. How to cover up the expenditure? That's why Firoz Shah Tughlaq collected irrigation tax. There's a separate tax, irrigation tax, called Haqi Share, Haqi. Irrigation tax called Haqi Share. How much? 1/10. 1/10 of the gross produce. Okay. Right. Then Firoz Shah Tughlaq, for promoting trade, commerce, he went for construction of the towns and cities. Okay. What are the towns and cities founded? Firozpur, Firozbad, Fatehpur, Fatehbad, and Janpur. Urbanization process. Towns. Towns as centers for trade and commerce. Understand? Firozpur, Firozbad, Fatehpur, Fatehbad, understand? And Janpur. Of course, Janpur was not for trade and commerce. Janpur in memory of his cousin Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Juna. Actual name, Juna. That's why the city is called Janpur. Then Firoz encouraged garden crops, fruit cultivation, garden crops. And Firoz is known to have, Firoz was known for developing nearly 1200 gardens in the city Delhi. 1200 gardens in the city Delhi. In Haqi Shirbi is irrigation tax. Haqi Shirbi is irrigation tax. It has nothing to do with jizya. Okay. I will come to that one later. Haqi Shirbi is what? Irrigation tax. It has nothing to do with jizya. Right. Then Firoz abolished additional taxes. All additional taxes. All additional taxes called abwabs. ABWAB. All additional taxes called abwabs. He collected only 4 taxes. 4 taxes as sanctioned by Quran. What are these 4 taxes? Khams, Kharas, Zakat, and Jizya. Got the point? Khams, Kharas, Zakat, and Jizya. What is Khams? Khams is a tax on the spoils of the war. It's not a tax actually. Sharing the spoils of war. You go for war. You defeat one king. Got the point? Then you get a lot of wealth. In dividing the wealth, 1/5 of that would go to the king. So khams means 1/5 of the spoils of the war. Taxes called kham, Kham. Khams means 1/5 of the war booty. Correct word is booty. War booty. Share in the spoils of war, 1/5. Kharas. What is kharas? Land tax. This is land tax. Land tax differed from sultan to sultan. Zakat. Zakat means charity. In your annual income, you must spare 2 to 2.5%. Charity. For education center, right? For old age homes, zakat would be collected. Charity tax. The last one is jizya. Jizya, a religious tax. Religious tax on all the non-Muslims in the Islamic State. These are the 4 taxes collected by Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Remember, jizya is exempted for Brahmins. Brahmins, slaves, women, they are not to pay jizya. But Firoz Shah Tughlaq was the Sultan who collected jizya even from the Brahmins. That's one reason why there was a lot of animosity against the state, Sultanate state. No Sultan collected jizya from the Brahmins because that is exempted. Firoz collected it. Next, economic measure of Firoz Shah Tughlaq. If you remember, Alauddin Khilji stopped iktas. In the Sultanate administration, you have the practice of giving ikta, IQTA, land for the Sardars. Instead of salary, Sardars will be given lands called iktas. Alauddin stopped it because the Sardars are becoming very powerful because of the lands. Now Firoz Shah Tughlaq revived that. This is other problem Sultanate faced. Firoz Shah Tughlaq revived ikta system, giving land grants again to the Sardars. It's because of this, and another important measure of the Firoz was, he founded a separate department, welfare measures, separate department, Diwan-e-Khairat. Khairat to provide employment and to perform free of cost marriage, free marriages, free of cost marriages and to provide employment only for Muslim youth. This is quite costly. Managing the Khairat had become quite costly. Another welfare measure of Firoz, he imported nearly 80,000 African slaves, Congo slaves. For the maintenance of these African slaves, he founded a separate department called Bandagan. Bandagan, B-A-N-D-A-G-A-N. When you are going for these things, it is very expensive. Importing slaves. And above that, you have to maintain them. That is causing lot expenditure for the state. On the other hand, what happened was, when Firoz Shah left the throne, when he resigned and he stepped down as the Sultan, these African slaves created ruckus in Delhi. It's difficult to control them. They created law and order problem in Delhi. These economic measures of Firoz definitely proved quite costly for the Sultanate state. What proved quite costly? Maintaining slaves, their welfare, and creating separate employment bureau, understand? And irrigation projects he had taken, and welfare measures, Darul Shafa, free of cost medication also he started. These measures and reviving ikta system in long run definitely harmed the Sultanate state. Are you clear? When you are giving land grants again to the Sardars, you make Sardar very powerful. That way, Firoz was responsible for, in a way, the disintegration of Sultanate Empire. Are you clear? Fine. You want to take a break? Go for a break. I will resume after 10 minutes.
Does the vast syllabus of general studies for the UPSC prelims overwhelm you to initiate your preparation for the civil services examination? Is your apprehension and self-doubt coming in the way of your success in joining the civil services? Comprehend your preparation for UPSC Prelims 2025 with the fast-track course targeting general studies with innovative curriculum, revision and mentorship. Starting from 19th November at 1 p.m., the course offers coverage of UPSC GS Prelims subjects, dedicated mentorship support and guidance for performance maximization, access to PT 365 classes for current affairs preparation, sectional mini tests for regular assessment and performance, personalized student portal to access study material, access to live and online classes. Enroll today and make prelims your stepping stone to proceed to the UPSC mains.
Under section B, question 5, we came up to Firoz Shah Tughlaq's economic policies. Next question is, you see this, evaluate the contribution of Kalandria to medieval Indian culture. Kalandria, spelling Kalandriyash, Kalandrias. Who were actually these Kalandrias? In medieval times, you had Bhakti movement in Hinduism. In Islam, you had a Sufi movement, S-U-F-I. Bhakti and Sufi movements both are reformistic movements. Reform the society. Okay. In Sufi movement, you have powerful sects, very popular, not powerful, popular sect. SECT sect. These popular sects are called silsila. Silsilas means popular sects within Sufism. You have Chisti, Shuhravardi, Naqshbandi, Khadri, Roshaniya, Shattariya. These are all popular Sufi sects within Sufism. What is Sufism? Because you see, you people require understanding about Sufism. Sufism means Islamic mysticism. How to find out God, how to reach God. There are certain things that are not visible in this world. They are there, but you can't see them. You can only experience them. How to find out this? Okay, invisible forces. If you ask me, show me God, I can't show you. Okay. But I wanted to know how to see God. Okay. That is mysticism. This Islamic mysticism, okay, making you to identify yourself with God, okay, is also a reformism. In this reform, you have different sects. Chisti, Shuhravardi, there are names of the sects. Khadri, Roshaniya, Shattariya, understand? There are different sects. Kalandriya, Kalandars, they are one of the sects. Okay. This sect was founded by Abu Wali Kalandar. Kalandar. Founder was Abu Wali Kalandar. That's why the sect is called Kalandriyas. Okay. Kalandriya sect, Abu Wali Kalandar. Right. What do they do? In each sect you have followers. They have different practices. If you go to Chisti saints, they never mix up with the society. They will live outside the society. They are very simple. You understand? They suffer the poverty and misery and all that. They don't go to sultans. They don't go to rich people. They suffer poverty. When you are suffering poverty, you are close to God. That is their belief. Chisti order. Shuhravardi, They go for nobles, they go to sultans, they take money. That's how they became very unpopular. Like that, each sect had certain, behavioral patterns. Kalandriyas, okay, they never accepted anything that is authoritarian. They were anti-law. Okay, if you say this is law, they go against the law. Understand? They were Sunni, actually conservative Muslims. Within conservative Muslims, they wanted to follow a different path. What different path? They condemn all the rules and regulations because all rules and regulations are hypocritical. You talk of rules and regulations and you violate it in your private life. That's why Kalandriyas, they indulged in drinking, gambling, taking drugs, intoxicating drugs. Understand? For them, no rule is, acceptable. Okay, break the law. Understand? At the same time, they are highly devotional. Highly devotional. Devotion is different. Okay, rules are different. They are highly devotional and they want to realize God, but at the same time, they don't want to be hypocritical. Are you understanding? This is the main philosophy of Kalandriyas. They were against established rules and regulations. Darveshis means they were, saints moving from one place to the other. They never lead a settled life. Recluses. Okay? They condemn all the practices, conservative practices. Okay? Then, what is the contribution of Kalandriyas? Kalandriyas composed great poetry. Poetry, music, these are the areas where their contribution is felt. In the poetry, they talked about a true love for God, a true love without hypocrisy. Got the point? Without hypocrisy. That is one theme of their poetry. Against all the established practices. They are genuine that way, Kalandriyas. Second thing is, in music, in Hindustani music, you have a form of music, Qawwali. This Qawwali actually started with Amir Khusro, devotional music. Kalandriyas further developed Qawwali. Further they developed the music called Qawwali, devotional music called Qawwali. Understand? That way their contribution is seen for literature and music. Where things went wrong for Kalandriyas, okay, I told you, they are not bound by any rules and regulations. So conservative Muslims, they, discarded them. They branded them as anti-social. No one accepted Kalandriyas. Got the point? They are aggressive also. Kalandriyas attacked, physically attacked the great Sufi saint Baba Fariduddin Shakarganj. Shakar means sugar. His words are so sweet, you call him Shakarganj. A pious Sufi saint of Chishti order. He was attacked by Kalandriyas physically in Delhi. Okay, that way, Kalandriyas were ill-tempered. They are highly, temperament-wise violent. Okay, that's the reason why society never accepted them. Are you understanding what I am telling? Are you understanding what I am telling? In a way, it's a distraction. You understand? It is a distracted Sufi order. Okay, that's why generally conservative Muslim, they don't accept Kalandriyas. Clear? This is the role of Kalandriyas in Sufism. Okay. Next is, discuss the main features of Malwa school of painting with examples. In medieval India, you have painting developed. Okay. Painting was not developed by sultans. painting was very well developed by the Mughals. Most of these sultans ruled Delhi as representatives of Khalifa. In Islam, painting was not encouraged. Painting was not encouraged because painting is a cheap imitation of the Creator. Creator created the universe. God created the universe. When you are going for painting, drawing beauty of the nature, okay, that means what? You are imitating the Creator. Any imitation is condemned. It is not accepted. Are you understanding? You should not imitate the great, Creator. That's why Islam never accepted painting. But Mughals, when they entered India, Mughals had a very rich tradition because Mughals had Persian background. Babur coming from Persia. Persia means Iran. In Iran, painting was a very well developed art even before Mughals entered into India. So Mughals have no objection or inhibition in promoting painting. In painting, you have different schools. Painting developed, and during the times of Aurangzeb, a very conservative Sunni. He banned everything. No painting, no music, no astrologers, no court chroniclers, nothing. Everything banned. Because that's a waste of money for Aurangzeb. When Aurangzeb banned painting, painters got dispersed. They went and settled in different parts of India. Painters settling in Kashmir, they developed Basholi school of painting. Painters settled in Himachal, they developed Kangra school of painting. Painters settled in Rajputana, they developed Malwa school of painting. You understand? In this Malwa school of painting, it is partially Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Its main centers are Kishanganj, Mewar, Bundi and Kota. Kishangarh, not Ganj. Kishangarh, Mewar, Bundi and Kota. These are the places where this painting tradition started and developed. Question is about what? Malwa school of painting, with examples. Main features of Malwa school of painting. When Malwa school of painting started, its main theme is devotion. Rasika Priya. You understand? Krishna Bhagavan, Gopikas, Bhagavata Purana. Rasika Priya. Theme of the painting. Rasika Priya. And another one is Amura Sataka. Amaru Shataka. Amaru. A-M-A-R-U. Shataka. These are the two, main themes in the Malwa school of painting. Paintings centered around Rasika Priya and Amara Shataka. Now you explain. Question is about explain the regional schools with examples. First to start with Kishangarh school of painting. In this Kishangarh school of painting, theme is what? Extreme love, devotion. Understand? The devotion, the type like, Gopikas for Krishna Bhagavan. In this school of painting, what is the striking aspect? Facial expressions are very striking. How do the faces look like? In Kishangarh school of painting, faces look with pointed noses. Pointed noses, pointed chin, right? And deeply curved eyes. Pointed nose, pointed chin, and deeply curved eyes. These are the characteristic features. In this painting, what you see here is the most popular painter, Savant Singh, Raja Savant Singh. Raja Savant Singh depicting Rasika Priya, understand, Bhagavata Purana, Krishna Gopikas and all that. It is said that Savant Singh had fallen in love with Bani Tani. Okay, Bani Tani. That lady's features, facial features, are found in the paintings of Gopikas. You understand? When you like a girl, when you are going for drawing, somewhere or the other you bring the features of that girl in your drawing. Are you understanding? Okay. So it is believed, it is said that in this Bani Tani paintings, we find the reflections of the love of Samant Singh for Bani Tani. Gopika, but that Gopika looks like Bani Tani. Are you understanding? Okay, this is one of the notable aspects. Okay, devotion and expressing emotions. Okay, that is the theme of Kishangarh School of Painting. Next to Kishangarh School of Painting, Mewar. Okay. In this Mewar School of Painting, colors are very simple colors. Understand? Simple colors. What is the theme? Theme is Ragamala. That means instruments. Musical instruments. That is the theme. Okay. Next to Mewar School of Painting, you have Bundi. This is a wonderful school of art. Of the Malwa School of Art, Bundi School is supposed to be the most, beautiful and decorative school of painting. Okay. In this Bundi School, you have colors very bright. Bright red color for outlines. They use bright colors. So bright colors means painting is very striking. Okay. What are the examples for this Bundi school of painting? Most colorful and most attractive. Bundi. Okay. Classic examples for this is Bhairavi Ragini. Bhairavi Ragini painting. Bhairavi Ragini painting, you see it preserved in Allahabad Museum today. Allahabad Museum. Next one is Ragamala, instruments. Okay. Rasikapriya instruments, paintings. Rasikapriya in themes, Ragamala instruments preserved in National Museum, Delhi. You got the point. Entire Bhagavata Purana, Bhagavatam is painted in a manuscript. That manuscript is preserved in the museum Bundi. Okay. These are classic examples for Bundi school. Okay. Next to Bundi school, you have Kota. Okay. In the Kota school of painting, the main theme is wildlife. Okay. Hill areas, forest areas, and wild animals, tigers and bears. Bear and tigers. These are the 4 schools of painting, part of Malwa School of Painting. Clear? Question is about Malwa School of Painting with examples. I have to give these examples. Okay. Then what is the other question? Highlight the features of Portuguese colonial enterprise. Okay. Portuguese colonial enterprise. Portuguese entered India with Vasco da Gama, 1498, reaching Calicut. When Portuguese entered India, what was the policy of the Portuguese? That is what is called Portuguese enterprise. Okay. Portuguese enterprise is characterized by number 1, their need for importing spices. What for they entered India? They entered for essential commodity spices. Right? Without spices, you cannot preserve meat. That's the main reason why Europeans had to come to India first. So how to procure spices? Okay. That's why Portuguese first concentrated in the Malabar coast Kerala. Malabar coast Kerala is known for spices. cardamom, ilachi, black pepper they require. That's why early settlements of the Portuguese you see in Kerala, Cochin, Calicut, Cananore and Ceylon. Second important policy of their colonial enterprise is how to get ports, P-O-R-T-S, ports of importance in the west coast. Okay. Their main idea is how to control the trade in Arabian Sea. Okay. For that you require port, P-O-R-T, ports on the west coast. That's why they concentrated on the west coast, okay, from Gulf of Hormuz to Malabar coast, Kerala. Okay. Second important aspect of Portuguese colonial enterprise is acquiring ports, P-O-R-T-S, ports all along the Arabian Sea. Okay. All along the Arabian Sea. From Gulf of Hormuz, O-R-M-U-Z, Gulf of Hormuz, Persian Gulf, to Malabar coast, Kerala. Right. That's why they founded ports. Ports at Hormuz in Gujarat, Cambay, Broach, Surat in Gujarat. In Konkan coast, Goa, Diu, Daman, right? Salseti, Besain. In Malabar coast, I told you, Cochin, Cananore, Ceylon. They all became the Portuguese settlements. So how to get to ports on the west coast? Third important thing is how to control the trade. Okay. You got now number one, spices, most important item. Next, number two, you got ports all along the west coast. Right. Now, third important thing about their colonial enterprise is, their main purpose is how to control trade in Arabian Sea. Their policy, monopolistic trade. They were not for allowing any foreign or Indian ships to trade without their permission. This is called monopolistic trade. Without the permission of Portuguese, no Indian ship or foreign ship to enter into Arabian Sea. For this controlling, they introduced what is called licensing system or giving passes. Passes were being issued by the Portuguese. Passes were being issued by the Portuguese called Cartage, C-A-R-T-H, Cartages. Cartages means passes. Passes for European and Indian merchants, whoever that were trading. Without the pass, the ship would be confiscated. Right. This monopolizing trade, under the policy is called Blue Water Policy. Portuguese policy of controlling the sea is called Blue Water Policy. What is Blue Water Policy? Whoever that controls the Arabian Sea would control India. This is Blue Water Policy. For you to control the universe, control the sea first. You don't have to conquer the world. You control the sea. If you are controlling the sea, you are conquering the world. Blue Water Policy. This is the other idea of Portuguese colonial enterprise. Next, Portuguese also, other idea of their colonial enterprise was, why not empire in India? Portuguese also developed in course of time imperialistic designs or imperialistic motives. They wanted to found their own empire in India. How to found their own empire in India? They defeated the Sultan of Bijapur and got Goa. You understand? First European power to get a territory of their own. Okay, they got Goa by defeating the Sultan of Bijapur. Then they tried for another territory in Gujarat. They killed Sultan of Gujarat, Bahadur Shah too. Are you understanding? So they tried to build up their own empire in India. This is the other motive of the Portuguese. Okay. Then, their commodity production, their trade, export to trade. In the export to trade, Portuguese not only exported spices, they also exported textiles, indigo, and saltpeter. This is a new item in the trade. SALT, saltpeter, PETRE. Saltpeter is used in explosives, cannons, okay, a chemical powder. You can call it a gunpowder, a chemical powder. Explosives, cannons. Okay. For using cannons, you require saltpeter. Okay. This is a new commodity they traded in. They procured it and they monopolized this also. Okay. Then other important thing is militarization. Okay. First European country to introduce and to follow militarism. Militarism means what? Portuguese introduced drill in military administration, drill for armed forces. Portuguese introduced artillery, cannons. Portuguese developed the most sophisticated navy. Okay. In their naval ships, you see cannons placed. Okay. These things were entirely new. It's because of this, ships with cannons, artillery wing, and using saltpeter, Portuguese could establish their power in India. Okay. For controlling eastern trade, they made Hooghly as the center. Western trade, west coast, Goa the main center. Okay. So these are the colonial enterprises of the Portuguese. Okay. For promoting their population in India, another important thing, they also decided to go for conversions. That is the other policy of the Portuguese. Okay. Conversions. Okay. Particularly, second Portuguese governor, Albuquerque encouraged conversions and forced marriages with Brahmin woman, Konkani Brahmin woman. This is where Portuguese became very unpopular. Okay. By force, you capture a woman and marry her. Okay. Are you understanding? Convert them into Christianity. This is all done by force. That's where Portuguese became very unpopular. Clear? Fine. These are all part of Portuguese colonial enterprise. Not only trade, they wanted an empire of their own. Not only an empire of their own, they wanted promoting Christianity. Trade, political empire, and Christianity. These three motivated colonial enterprise of Portuguese. Right? What type of trade? Monopolistic trade. They wanted to monopolize the trade. Next, analyze the contributions of Acharya Trimvarite to Indian Vedanta. Okay. Acharya Trimvarite. What do you mean by Trimvarite Acharya? In Bhakti movement, you have Trinity. That's right. Who are the Trinity of Acharyas? Shankara, Ramanuja, and Madhva. Okay. These three are called Trinity. Okay. In Bhakti movement. What is the contribution of Shankaracharya? Shankara's contribution, number one, Shankara, a great, prolific scholar. Okay, prolific scholar Shankaracharya, okay, writing commentaries on Brahma Sutras. Commentaries on Brahma Sutras, number one. He wrote Shivananda Lahari, Saundarya Lahari, Viveka Chudamani, Yoga Taravali, okay, all classics, including Bhajagovindam. Okay. In Indian philosophy, they are rated as classics. That way, Shankaracharya, prolific scholar, number one. Number two, Shankaracharya, profound thinker and the most popular philosopher. Okay. What is his philosophy? Advaita. Advaita Siddhant. There are no two things. Differences are because of ignorance and illusion, Maya. You believe you are different. Actually, there are no differences. This is Advaita philosophy. Okay. Next, number three, Shankaracharya unified all the different faiths. Okay. What are the different faiths? Within Brahmanism, the main problem in Indian society, there were serious differences between Shaivas, Vaishnavas, Shakteyas, who worship Shakti. Okay, Surya cult, Ganapati cult, they are clashing with each other, killing each other. Now Shankara's attempt is to unite them, bring them all into one fold. That's why Shankaracharya introduced Panchayatana system. In Panchayatana system, you have Shiva, Vishnu, Surya, Ganapati and Durga. Are you understanding? Actually, before Panchayatana system, they are different sects. Now Shankaracharya united them into one system to avoid clashes in the Indian society. Next, Shankaracharya promoted Sanatan Dharma. How he promoted Sanatan Dharma? Great organizer. He promoted, you have to discuss Shankaracharya under different headings. What are the different headings I am giving? Great scholar, number one. Great philosopher, number two. Next, number three, great unifier. Number four, great organizer. Great organizer, he founded 4 mutts in 4 different directions. Sringeri, Dwaraka, Badrinath and Puri. Puri for the east, okay, and Dwaraka for the west, Badrinath for the north, Sringeri for the south, to promote Sanatan Dharma. That way, great organizer, Shankaracharya. Next, great reformer, Shankaracharya. In what way is a reformer? He accepted a Chandala as his guru, untouchable. Shankaracharya performed end rituals for his mother against the spirit of Shastras. Actually, a sannyasi shall not have father, mother and everything. That's against Shastra. But Shankara, for him, mother is more important than Shastra. Understand? Here, human relationship is more important. That's why he went against the spirit of Shastras, performing the end ritual for his mother. That way, Shankaracharya reformer. Now come to the second one, Ramanujacharya. What is the contribution of Ramanuja? Ramanuja's philosophy, Vishishtadvaita. Understand? Vishishtadvaita and Ramanuja preached social equality. Okay. Vaishnavism, he founded the Sri Vaishnava cult. Ramanujacharya was the founder of Sri Vaishnava sect. Sri Vaishnava sect. Sri Vaishnava sect, liberal form of Vaishnavism. Vaishnavism for all. No distinction, caste-based distinctions in Vaishnavism. That's why, if you remember Modi, our Prime Minister Modi, unveiled the statue, Samata statue. Samata, equality for all. In Hyderabad, Ramanuja's statue, biggest statue, Samata statue, equality for all. Are you understanding? So Ramanuja's philosophy, Vishishtadvaita. His sect, Sri Vaishnava. Idea, equality. Ramanuja also wrote commentaries on Brahma Sutras. Third one, Madhvacharya. Madhva was born in Karnataka state at Udupi. Right, Udupi. He was the first to write commentaries on Brahma Sutras in Kannada language. It's because of Madhva the language Kannada became very popular. Kannada language. What is Madhva's philosophy? Madhva's philosophy, Dvaita. Dvaita. Shankara's Advaita. Ramanuja's Visishta Advaita. Madhva's Dvaita. Gandapa. Followers of Madhvacharya, you call them Mardhavas. They are called Mardhavas. Okay? So these three acharyas made a great contribution for Bhakti movement this way, with their philosophies and with their reformist ideas. That's the question.
Completing the syllabus without proper knowledge of current affairs will not take you far in the UPSC Civil Services examination. Regulate and transform your preparation with complete coverage of news of relevance. Get a concrete hold of current affairs for UPSC CSE with Vision IS Monthly Current Affairs Revision Program starting from 20th September at 5 p.m. The program is your guide to get comprehensive news on one platform sourced through relevant resources such as The Hindu, Indian Express, Economic Times, PIB, Yojana and others. Enroll for complete coverage of current affairs including Indian polity and constitution, economy, international relations and more. Comprehensive assessment of preparation through MCQs and mains-oriented questions. Expert support through personalized mentoring and online doubt resolution.
Compare and contrast the position of Hindu and Muslim women in 13th and 14th century India. Compare and contrast the position of Hindu and Muslim woman. Okay. What was the position of Hindu-Muslim woman in medieval India? Women in general, okay, were always given secondary place. Right? Woman's status in the society was decided by her caste, okay, and her background. Are you understanding? Woman's status in the society decided by her caste and her community background. Okay. In general, in Indian society, okay, upper caste women had restrictions more. Lower caste women very freely mixed up. With the advent of Islam, now you have Muslim women entering into the Indian society. In what way the position of Muslim woman is same and in what way it is different from the Hindu woman. Okay. When it comes to the differences, number one, in Hinduism, women enjoyed relatively freedom and liberty than Muslim women. Okay. In Hinduism, okay, women were allowed to study, understand? Women were great scholars. They pursued studies, higher studies. Understand? Whereas in Islam, very rarely you see a woman going for education. Okay. In Hinduism, you have women scholars, Ganga Devi, Muttupalani, you understand? Even you have woman ruler, Rani Rudrama Devi in medieval times. Women participated very freely in political activity. Women participated in religious activity. There is no restriction for women to enter into temple. Whereas in Islam, women shall not enter into mosque. Women shall not go to dargah. Are you understanding? There are restrictions on the freedom and liberty of women. There is parda system in Islam. Burqa is there. You understand? They are not supposed to be seen in public. There are no restrictions on woman as such in Hinduism. Next, you see remarriage. Hindu woman is not permitted to remarry. Once husband is dead, she is to lead the life of a widow. Whereas remarriage permitted in Islam. Okay. Inheritance. Okay. Muslim woman had inheritance rights, whereas Hindu woman had no inheritance rights. Okay. Then divorce. Hindu woman can give divorce. Muslim woman cannot give divorce. Are you understanding what I am telling? Okay. This way, there are certain areas where Hindu woman had some liberties and certain advantages, where Muslim women in some regards have some advantages and liberties. But both were subjected to controls, rules and limitations, restrictions. Got the point? That's how you have to project it. Role of woman. Muslim women rulers are also there. Rani Chand Bibi, she ruled Ahmednagar. Rajia was, Rajia of course. Rajia was also a woman ruler. Okay. Conditions. Okay. It is condition favored means woman could come to power. But it's not accepted in religion. Islam doesn't accept woman coming to power. Are you understanding? In Hinduism, there is no restriction like that. Okay, fine. Next one. Examine the causes and consequences of peasant uprisings during the reign of Aurangzeb. Okay. What are the causes and consequences of peasant uprisings? Okay. What are the causes? Causes for peasantry to revolt, generally the main problem is taxation. If taxation is very high, then definitely peasantry would revolt. Second problem, under Aurangzeb, yes, Mughal agriculture economy was definitely passing through a crisis. Why crisis in agriculture? Because of the Mansabdari system, Jagirdari system. Mansabdars are transferred. Mansabdar means civil servants. They are transferred for every 3 years. When you transfer the Mansabdar for every 3 years, Mansabdar had no interest in the area to develop. Understand? They are interested in more extracting revenue than developing the agricultural economy. Jagirdars and Jamindars, they turned highly exploitative. Each one wanted to make money, looting the peasantry. These were the reasons why there were peasant revolts in the Aurangzeb's reign. Second important problem, Aurangzeb's religious policy. That is equally responsible for the revolts. Okay. Where actually revolts started? Okay. You have Bundelas of Madhya Pradesh. They revolted under the leadership of King Jujar Singh Bundela. Okay. It is purely a peasant uprising. Okay. Peasant uprising under Jujar Singh Bundela. Bundelas, a peasant tribe, against Mughal revenue policy. After the Bundelas, you have Satnamis. Satnamis in Haryana. Okay. Peasant tribe. Okay. They follow, a code of conduct, lead a virtuous life. They are not religious. They follow code of conduct. Satnami. Understand? This sect was founded by Birban in Bhakti movement. Right. Satnamis revolted in Haryana, Karnal region. Okay. It's against revenue policy of the Mughals. Excess of land tax. Okay. Then you have third important one, the revolt, Jats. Jats of Haryana. Here you see religion a factor. Not only revenue policy, religion a factor. What do you mean by religion a factor? Aurangzeb destroyed Keshav Rai temple in Mathura, Kashi Vishwanath temple, Varanasi. It's because these temples were destroyed, Jats rise in revolt. They rose in revolt under the leadership of Gokul, G-O-K-U-L. Gokul was killed. When Gokul was killed, the revolt turned more so aggressive under the leadership of Churamal and Badan Singh. Finally, Jats founded an independent kingdom, Bharatpur. Right. Then you have Sikh community's main profession, agriculture. Okay. Why Sikhs also revolted? Here it's not exclusively Mughal revenue policy, there's a religious policy also. Okay. Mughals killing two Sikh gurus. Guru Arjun Dev, fifth Sikh guru, was killed by Jahangir. Okay. Ninth Sikh guru Tegh Bahadur was killed by Aurangzeb. That's the reason why Sikhs also revolted. You understand? When Aurangzeb entered into Deccan to punish sons of Shivaji, Aurangzeb left Agra in 1682. He never came back to Agra. 25 years he stayed in Deccan until his death. When he was present in Deccan, you also see peasant movements here because of exploitation of the Mughal officers. Okay. These peasant revolts responsible for the collapse of the Mughal Empire. It became extremely difficult for Aurangzeb handling these revolts, one after the other in the Mughal Empire. So consequences are what? Independent kingdoms were formed, Mughal Empire collapsed. Are you clear? That's what you have to write. Instead of bringing credit, Ibadat Khana brought growing discredit to Akbar. Comment. What was Ibadat Khana? Okay. This is about Akbar's religious policy. Question is about Akbar's religious policy. In 1575, Akbar built Ibadat Khana. Ibadat Khana in Fatehpur Sikri, okay, for conducting discussions and discourses on religious issues. First, Ibadat Khana was opened only for Muslims. In Muslims, you have three popular sects: Sunni, Shia, Madhavi. Okay, these are sects within Islam. Instead of talking about great aspects of Islam, these three started quarreling with each other. That's why Akbar got at one point of time completely disgusted with Islam. He turned disappointed with Islam. Opened the gates of Ibadat Khana for all the religions. Okay. All the religions, okay. Hinduism, it was represented by Purushottam, Pandit Purushottam. Jainism, Haravijaya Suri. Okay. Christianity, Father Montserrat and Aquino. Parsi, Meherji Rana, these were all invited. Okay. The way Akbar invited other religions, this was not accepted by ulema, priestly classes in Islam. Akbar's religious policy, discredit. Discredit means Akbar became unpopular. Akbar became unpopular for inviting other religions into Ibadat Khana. Akbar became unpopular even before that for banning forced conversions. No forced conversions in Mughal Empire. Okay. No pilgrimage tax on Hindus. No jizya for Hindus. He abolished all these things. That's why Akbar became very unpopular. The two critics of Akbar, Mullah Badauni and Abdus Nabin. Mullah Badauni wrote a text, Muntakab ut Tawarik, openly criticizing Akbar. When criticism started against Akbar, he became unpopular in Islamic community. For a while, Akbar decided to stop his reformism. Understand? He wanted to give a chance for Mullah Badauni and others, his critics, to prove him wrong, where he is going wrong. Are you understanding? That's why Akbar did not continue his progressive legislation. Then what happened in Ibadat Khana? Discussions in Ibadat Khana convinced Akbar that for the ruler of India, he should not identify with any one religion. Because India is known for divergent faiths, different religions and different communities. If you identify yourself with one religion, it is impossible to rule India. Secondly, essence of the religions, all religions are just the same. In every religion, you have morals and ethics. No religion is immoral and unethical. Are you understanding? Then why the differences? Differences are because of rituals and ceremonies that divided. Once these discussions convinced Akbar that he was heading in the right direction, then he removed Mullah Badauni and Abdus Nabin. Are you understanding? So Akbar here was definitely becoming unpopular in the Muslim community. At one point of time, I tell you, Akbar even ordered that no child be named after Prophet Muhammad. Understand? Means Akbar is welcoming criticism. Akbar is definitely becoming popular and unpopular. He is becoming unpopular. Okay. Where he had become more so unpopular, in 1579, Akbar issued decree of infallibility. What is decree of infallibility? In Islam, you call it as, you understand, Mazar. Mazar, drafted by Sheikh Mubarak, his advisor. Now, Mazar says that if any problem arises on religious issues, Akbar's word is final, not the word of ulemas. Ulema means priest. Got the point? Ulema's word is not final, Akbar's word is final. Akbar became Mir-e-Adil, head of religion also. If a dispute arises, not the word of ulema, word of Akbar is final. This made Akbar more so unpopular in the ulemas. Akbar never cared. 1582, he founded his own faith. Actually, in Islam, you are not supposed to start any faith. For Islam, only one religion, that is Islam. No other religion, no other faith. Even then, Akbar founded Din-e-Ilahi, universal faith. Their practices un-Islamic. Akbar started wearing tilak, turban. Akbar completely abstained from non-vegetarianism, alcoholism. He became a pure vegetarian. Are you understanding? He started worshipping sun, Surya Bhagavan, Agni. These are un-Islamic practices. Only one Islamic practice there, Allahu Akbar. Slogan, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar means Creator is great. That is the meaning. Okay. This is Din-e-Ilahi. Now the problem here is, Din-e-Ilahi, he introduced it so that it would become acceptable to all. Akbar's idea, it will become acceptable to all. How it would become acceptable to all? Din-e-Ilahi is acceptable for Muslim. Allahu Akbar. Slogan is acceptable for Muslim. Hindu customs are there. Parsis worship Sun Bhagavan. Parsis worship Agni. Okay. So he tried to bring all the faiths, all the religions into one faith. In this attempt to bring all the religions into one single faith, Akbar failed miserably. Concluding point is this. Where he failed miserably and where he became very unpopular, finally his faith had become a faith that is not accepted by anyone. Understand? Hindus are very happy. We are wearing tilak, wearing turban, worshipping Surya Bhagavan, Agni. They are Hindu customs. What is objectionable for Hindu? Slogan, Allahu Akbar, is objectionable. For Muslim, abstaining from non-veg is definitely not done. Okay. Wearing tilak is objectionable. So Hindu and Muslim had not followed it. Parsis had not followed it. Finally, no one followed it. Are you understanding? Akbar was not bothered about it also. He wanted for himself his own faith. Okay. That way, Din-e-Ilahi finally brought more discredit to Akbar than credit. Are you understanding? It was not acceptable. There is a popular quote of Raja Bhagwan Das. What is popular quote of Bhagwan Das? I know I am a proud Hindu. I am a born Hindu, I am proud of it. I am a born Hindu, I am proud of it. I know what is Islam. I have great respect for it. I can't understand what is this new faith. This is a mixture of everything, so I don't follow it. Are you understanding? That means what? Openly people are criticizing the policy. It ended with Akbar. Got the point? This is the way you have to present the answer. It brought more discredit to Akbar than credit. But concluding part, Akbar was not bothered about credit. Whether you give credit or discredit, he is not bothered. He wanted to follow his own faith. Are you clear? Whether you like or not, Akbar is not bothered about it. If he is bothered about credit, then discredit. If he is not bothered about anything, credit or discredit doesn't figure there. Are you understanding? Fine. Next, how did Maratha guerrilla warfare tactics contribute to their military success against larger and more established armies? You know, Marathas are known for guerrilla warfare. Shivaji, an expert. What are the guerrilla tactics? That's what. Guerrilla tactics, a thorough understanding on topography, geographical location. Thorough understanding. Okay. Next, number 2, befriending the locals. Local support is very important. That's why Shivaji Maharaj, he had thorough understanding of the area, the landscapes, hill tracks, and the river systems. He had thorough understanding. Okay. This understanding is very important in guerrilla tactics. Next, number 2, Shivaji befriended. He turned very friendly with the local tribes, particularly Muwalis, Muwalis. They will give you information. They will help you in critical operations. That's why local support. Third important thing is a sound secret system, secret service, sound, espionage system. Okay, that means secret service, gathering information about the enemy. Next, number 4, okay, hills, forts on hilltop, construction of a fort. Where do you construct a fort? On a strategic location. All the forts constructed by Shivaji are on highly elevated mountains. He would have the vision, you understand? Particularly Torana Fort, Raigarh, if you go there, you can see up to 20 kilometers radius, you understand? So strategic location for construction of forts. Okay. These are all the techniques in the guerrilla warfare, followed by Shivaji. With these tactics, first he defeated the Sultan of Bijapur. Okay. Shivaji was what? After all, a Jagirdar. Jagirdar of Pune challenging the Sultan of Bijapur. After that, he challenged the Mughals. With guerrilla war tactics, he defeated Mughal armies commanded by Shaista Khan, right, in 1663. With guerrilla war tactics, he looted the city Surat. Part of guerrilla war tactics, Shivaji also developed the most sophisticated navy. Okay, he had the most sophisticated navy. He imitated Portuguese. In the navy, you see cannons also installed, okay, for controlling the Konkan coast. Okay. These are the reasons why Shivaji could definitely score victories against most established powers. Are you understanding? You add one more point there. What is the point? Emotionally connected movement, Maratha movement. This is equally important. Shivaji effectively played with the sentiments of the Marathas. He won the confidence and he won the support of the Marathas for an independent kingdom. That's why Shivaji most successful, right? Examine the role of Asafjahi dynasty in political transformation of the state of Hyderabad. Political transformation of the state of Hyderabad. You know the state of Hyderabad founded by Asafjah Nizam ul Mulk. Asafjah Nizam ul Mulk in 1724. Okay. Asafjah, he belonged to the Mughal court, Turani group. Okay. Where political transformation started. When Asafjah founded independent state of Hyderabad, he had problems with Marathas. Marathas most powerful at the time. Okay. Bajirao won the Peshwa. Marathas had the right to collect Chaut and Sadeshmukhi in Deccan. Okay. Now they asked Nawab Asafjah to pay Chaut. Asafjah refused to pay. That's the reason why Asafjah was defeated. Not once, twice by Bajirao. Marathas defeating Asafjah twice, collecting 48 lakhs Chaut. So problem during the times of Asafjah was more with Marathas. Next, number 2, political transformation, I am telling. This problem was to an extent overcome. They could overcome this problem when Salabat Jung became the Nawab. Salabat Jung gave coastal belt of Andhra Pradesh, 4 districts, northern Sarkars, to the French. For getting the 4 coastal districts from Salabat Jung, French agreed to protect Hyderabad in case if Marathas attack Hyderabad. This is a defensive and offensive alliance system between Nawab and the French. Third important thing what happened, under the Nawab Nizam Ali, when Nizam Ali became the Nawab, Nawabs came under the influence of English. Okay. Northern Sarkars were transferred from French to the English in 1766. Thenceforth, Nawab was under the influence of the English. You know, Nawab Nizam Ali, the first to sign subsidiary alliance system of Lord Wellesley. Right. With the subsidiary alliance system, the Nawab placed himself under the control of English. Okay. This is the end of the identity of the Nawabs for all practical purposes. In spite of this, Nawabs brought tremendous transformation of the state of Hyderabad. Where actually transformation of Hyderabad started? It started with the great Prime Minister, the Diwan of Hyderabad, Sir Salar Jung. His name, actually not Salar Jung. Salar Jung is the title. His name, Turab Ali Khan. He brought industrialization of Hyderabad. Okay. Even today, you have industrial exhibitions in Hyderabad. Every January 1st they start. This practice started with Nawab, Salar Jung. Salar Jung Museum in Hyderabad, one of the best museums in India, where rarest of the rare art pieces were preserved. Transportation developed, agriculture developed, law and order system developed in Hyderabad. Education developed, English education entered into Hyderabad. You can't believe it, Hyderabad became the first state to go for electricity. Okay. All these things started under Salar Jung. Okay. Then, unfortunately, the last Nawab, Mir Usman Ali, he also developed Hyderabad educationally. Usmania University was founded. Okay. And industrialization, cigarette factories were founded, paper making factories were founded, irrigation systems were developed. But unfortunately, it was during the time the great Telangana movement started. Telangana Armed Rebellion started. Okay. And Hyderabad became part of Indian Union with, Operation Polo, 1948. Right. This is how you have to develop the answer. Political transformation. Discuss the contribution of Bahmani Sultans to the development of Indo-Islamic architecture. What was the development of Indo-Islamic architecture under the Bahmanis? Okay. Architecture developed under Bahmanis, okay, it has some distinct aspects. What are the distinct aspects? Number one, extensive use of red sandstone. They use quite extensively red sandstone. Number two, domes are very big domes. Number three, in India in general, minars are independent. Minar means tall pillars. You understand? Okay, you go to Taj Mahal. There you have minars, part of Taj or independent of Taj. Independent, 4 directions, 4 minars. Whereas in the Bahmani style of architecture, minar is part of the structure. Classic example, I will give you Charminar. Okay, you must have seen the picture Charminar. Charminar, minars are part of the structure. In Deccan in general, you see minars as part of the structure. Understand? Huh? Which part? Ahmedabad. Daulatabad. That's the same style in Deccan. Okay. Where do you see this architecture? In Bijapur. Okay, first it started with Muhammad Shah II. Muhammad Shah II, he built Bada Masjid in Gulbarga. Then Muhammad Gawan, he built Madrasa at Bidar. Then you have, Ibrahim Adil Shah II. He constructed Gol Gumbaz. Gol Gumbaz, even today, world's second biggest dome. First one, Vatican City of Pope. Then Ibrahim Adil Shah's tomb, you call it Ibrahim Rawza in Bijapur. Okay. Bahmani Sultanate architecture you also see in Hyderabad, that is Golconda. You have Charminar. Entire Charminar built with only cement, no bricks there. Makkah Masjid, stone brought from Makkah, the biggest mosque at one time in medieval India. Then you have Buland Darwaja, okay, all come under Bahmani architecture. Are you clear? Okay. Next, evaluate the impact of Third Battle of Panipat on political economy of 18th century. Marathas went for war with Ahmad Shah Abdali, Third Battle of Panipat. How Third Battle of Panipat affected Indian political economy? This is a disaster for Marathas. Okay, Marathas could never recover. Understand? They're brilliant commanders. Okay, they're, sizable armed forces, all perished in the Third Battle of Panipat. Their ambition to found a pan-India empire all over India, it ended up with Third Battle of Panipat. Okay. Madhavrao, the fourth Peshawar, recovered the lost glory, but it could not sustain for long. Okay. Who benefited here? Third Battle of Panipat had not benefited Ahmad Shah Abdali. He was not interested to rule Delhi because he had his own problems in Afghanistan and Punjab. Okay. It's because of his participation in Third Battle of Panipat. Very interestingly, Ahmad Shah Abdali was defeated by 6. Ahmad Shah Abdali defeated by 6 in 1761. Okay. So, Afghan empire was also weakened. Mughal empire already weakened. Marathas were not in a position to recover. Okay. Independent kingdoms, Rohil Khan, because Rohillas supported Ahmad Shah Abdali, you had Rohil Khan formed, but Rohil Khan could not survive for long. 1774, Rohil Khan became part of Ayodhya. They could rule independently for only 15 years, Rohillas. Okay. So who survived? Who benefited? English benefited maximum. Understand? Because no power to challenge them. Okay. They were we don't say that English were in a position to found British control over India, but definitely it benefited them because Marathas not in a position to challenge the English. Okay. These are the repercussions of Third Battle of Panipat. Examine the process of urbanization caused by the establishment of European trading companies. Okay. How European trading companies responsible for urbanization. In India, even before European companies entered, cities developed very well for handicrafts. Okay. You have textiles industry, Surat, the richest city, even before Europeans entered. Okay. Then how the entry responsible for the development of cities? Portuguese definitely responsible for the development of Goa as not only trade capital city but also center for their religious activity. English were responsible for Chennai. You remember Chennai, Madras, 1639, they founded a factory in Chennai, settlement. 1655, Chennai became first municipality in India. 1658, it became a corporation also. Okay. Then English fortified 3 villages in Kolkata, Kalikata, Govindapur and Sutanavati. That's how city Kolkata was founded by Job Charnock. English equally responsible for Bombay. Understand? When Shivaji was looting Surat, they shifted their capital city from Surat to Bombay. They got Bombay as part of dowry also from Portuguese. Okay. That's how from 1667, Bombay continued to be their major center. 3 cities, Bombay, Chennai, Bombay and Kolkata. Major cities developed in India. It's because of European settlements, population also increased. Okay. That's how urbanization process gained momentum. French were responsible for developing Pondicherry. Francois Martin, governor, founded the city Pondicherry. Equally, Danes were responsible, okay, for the city Serampur. You understand? In Bengal. So under Dutch were equally responsible, you understand, for the development of cities all along the coast, southeast coast. Okay. So wherever you see European companies entered, okay, there you see the process of urbanization, towns developing for trade, commerce, religious activity and education activity and all the other activities. That's how we have to develop the answers. Clear? This is the end of the paper. Right?